Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about why do you sometimes feel sad, grief, right when your dreams are coming true, right? Like it's this thing that you've really been wanting probably for a really long time. And now that it's coming in, you're not all like happy, joy. Of course, some of that's there, but there's some mixed, muddled emotions, and then there's sadness and grief. So why? And not only why, but what to do about it so that we can get you moving on towards enjoying your dream, right? Um, okay, so let's talk about the muddled emotions first. And so sometimes there's the happiness that you have for your desire coming in. The muddled emotions are, did I really enjoy the previous stage of my journey? Right? Because if this is a problem that you're having or a thought that you're having, it tends to mean you've had those experiences in your life where you manifested or hit your desire, your dream that you really wanted, you've wanted for a long time. And then in hindsight, you're like, oh my God, I didn't appreciate that enough. I didn't appreciate that perk of that employment enough. I didn't really appreciate that trait in my partner well enough before we broke up. So you've had those journeys where you like rush the journey, or you just were like in your head during a experience, and then in hindsight you're like, oh my God, I didn't enjoy it. So there's a little part of you that's hidden back. It's technically fear, but it's not like a, oh, I'm scared someone's going to kill me fear, but it's a, wait, I don't want to have missed out of any enjoyment of that phase. So that's all it is. So spend some time, go back and go, oh, I appreciated this of that journey, I appreciated that of that journey, this was really fun. And I'll give you a quick little personal share. There was a phase in my business where I would ramp up, earn a lot of money, and then I would coast and live off that for anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half, depending how much I earned. That was a very carefree stage of my life. It was earn a bunch of money, then just go live in the woods. Like, oh my God, it was great, right? Or sometimes it was when my money only lasted 6 months, it was let me go to like Europe for 4 weeks. Let me go here for this time. I spent more money, right? Versus living in a forest. Um, so it was this, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. And I gave it appreciation and I felt how much I enjoyed it. And I acknowledged, this is the missing piece for you guys, I acknowledged why that phase was so significant to me. And it was, oh my God, when I was younger, I was busy taking care of older adults. I was busy, people pleasing. I was busy just trying to survive the drama trauma stage. And now I hit a phase where I, figured out a way to make more money than a day job and have way more fucking time on my hands. So it's like, I'm actually really glad I enjoyed that phase for like 4 years of just where I had no responsibility. So it's like acknowledging that value that you gain from that time. For everyone, it's going to look different. For some of you, it will hit you and you'll be like, oh, that's right. I was enjoying my carefree stage, but just acknowledge the significance of why that phase was so significant for you. And then you'll be able to see why, like, okay, I don't need that anymore, right? Because then I hit a point of like, man, I'm actually bored. I have all this time to go on hikes and stuff, but a lot of people are 9 to 5ers. They don't have time to go on the hikes with me. I'm a little alone a lot. I want more friends. And then it's, oh, the new phase is, I want more activity in my life. I don't just want to go hang out at a river all day. I used to love that. No, I don't want to spend my time that way anymore. Or I didn't when I was going through this transition. It was, I needed that wind down from my brain just to slow down, heal from the CPTSD so I can just be a little more like level-headed and clear-headed in my thinking. But now that that healing stage is done, can you see how now I want something new? And that's what life is always about. It's always about like ever expanding into the new. That's when you're living. That's when you're eagerly anticipating. You have something to look forward to in life. When you stop calling new experiences into your life, that's when you go back to source, to God, whatever you want to, whatever word you put to that. So acknowledge the significance of the previous phase you had and why you enjoyed it and thoroughly enjoyed it and thrived off it for so long. And just also acknowledge, I'm a little bored of that now, because sometimes it can be really hard for people to grapple with something that I used to love and cherish so much. Why does it not bring me pleasure anymore? That's another emotion in there that you got to process to be able to move on. And it makes sense, right? My CPTSD is healed. I'm ready for more action in my life. in that stage, I needed to slow down and wind down, and I needed less stimulus so that I could slow down and calm down. But now that I have a clear-headed mind, I'm like, wait, I want to do things. I want to like be going on yacht parties. I want to be learning like taekwondo or kickboxing. Um, so it's just recognizing that you're hitting a new chapter of your life, right? When you're done reading one book, you might sit there and reminisce of, wow, I really like that story. Here's what I liked about it, right? So allow yourself to reminisce about your stage and then go, okay, let's get on to the book 2 in the series. That's normal. It's natural. Everyone goes from kindergarten to preschool, preschool to elementary school to middle school. If you're in a different country than America, you might call it difference, but you get the point. There's different schools for different stages and ages. Okay, so then there from the muddled, now that you're looking towards the new and what you like have been thinking about for this desire that you've been wanting for a long time, the muddled can be, you can put the new up on a little bit of a pedestal, right? So mine was, oh, I'm working with these like big dogs, right? These people who earn like who have extreme wealth, like 60, $100 million worth of wealth. And I'm like, damn, I've been like making money living off it, making money living off it. I don't even really have like beyond a 2-month savings. Like, who am I to be coaching them, right? Because from there, I was relying more on like the outside world's definition of success, like, right? Because that's what everyone's going for, is that extreme wealth, right? That American dream. Even if you're not in America, I've asked a lot of my friends in other countries, like, well, what's the French dream? What's the South Africa dream? What's the Egypt dream? All of them laugh and go, pretty much the American dream. So we all kind of have that in us. I was like, well, who am I to be coaching them? Because since they have that money, they have it figured out. And then I realized, like, no, they have the money game figured out, but they don't have what I have figured out. And since everyone always says, once you get that wealth, then you'll be happy. Now that they have that wealth and they're not happy, that's even more why they need me. So what that did there is it took them from the like, I was listening to the song Running with the Wolves by Aurora. Like, I'm running with the wolves tonight. But when you do that, you're putting them on a pedestal. And it's like, oh, I've got to be strong and bold against these people. No, it's oh, they figured the money out ahead of me, but they're not hiring me to necessarily give them the next marketing strategy that's going to make them an extra 10 mil, right? They're hiring me for the emotional, personal growth that they can get. And then it's oh, they're just like all the rest of my clients. Now, of course, there are some clients who hire me to help with their mindset around money so that they can then earn more money. Yeah, of course, that's in there. And of course, my clients always get great results with that. But it's both of those, no matter what, whether it's just about enjoying life more, better relationship with money, all of those are the same skill sets. That's why most of my clients, when they work with me, if they hire me in one, they tend to enjoy life better, have better relationships, and make more money, because like a vibe is a vibe. A mindset, belief system is a belief system, and it impacts all the areas of your life. We fix one in one area, it's fixed in the others, okay? But anyway, once I normalized it, like, oh, of course these people need me. They hit that pinnacle of success where everyone's like shooting for that, where everyone else is thinking, once I get that, then I'll be happy. They still need the personal growth that I have figured out. It's now normalize that step. So some of my clients, it's because they're now working with higher dollar amounts. Some of my clients, it's because they've been acknowledged by someone who's like higher up in the field than them, right? And like, let me share one, like Teal Swan's in the personal development growth. She has a much bigger following than me. She has more money than me. She attracts thousands of people to her workshops. My biggest to date has been about 50. And it just dawned on me the other day, like, I could actually see why she would hire me. She's a better researcher in personal development, but I'm a better clinician. I take her stuff and I apply it smoother, quicker, easier. But she's a better researcher, right? So if she needs help applying it, she would hire me, and it would be normal. It'd be duh. Kelly, of course I could do it on my own, but when I do it with you, it's quicker, faster, easier, smoother, and more enjoyable. So let's do this, right? If I ever need to learn more because I want to expand more to help more of my clients, I would hire her. It's the valuing of sinking into the valuing of, this is what I'm really good at. that's when you will have it normalized, and that's when you'll be able to like softly, calmly, easily go into the next step. This is what I'm really good. I'm really good at this. That's not something I can help you with, but let me think about a resource to send your way. Or, oh, that's not something I do. You need to go to so and so for that, right? Teal Swan and I both do personal development, but sometimes it would be, that's not, I don't have that in my scope of knowledge right now. That's not something that I'm planning on learning next. The person who I learned from is Teal Swan. You're going to have to look around at a lot of her videos until you find the one for you. Or some people it's give me a week, I'll find it. I go do the studying and then I help them apply it, right? The difference is if they were to do it on their own, it would take them 10, 20 hours. If I go watch it, I can give it to them in 10 minutes. So it's sinking into the value of what you're really good at. Okay, so now let's go to the sadness and the grief. Okay, so why you would feel sad, we kind of covered it a little bit with the whole recognizing that one chapter of your life is like winding down. But the sadness is you can come from realizing, oh my God, I've been the one that's making it so hard to allow this beautiful thing in. When you think it's someone outside of you that's been causing your pain and you have that moment where you realize, oh, it's me. And then it's sad. It's like, I was causing my pain, all that struggle, all that suffering, all that. It was so hard to make content. It was so hard to niche down, or it was so hard to put together that proposal, when it's like, oh, no, it was just me and my belief system. It's not school society anymore. It's not my parents. It's me. It's this turning point where you're like, learning to rely on you. And you're really learning to rely on, if there's anything in my life that I don't have, it's because of me. That's a very humbling moment to experience and to have, because it's this level of self-responsibility that you've like never quite experienced before. So it can feel like intrepid, like a whoa, this is me. I'm standing on my own 2 feet, and this is me. This is who I am. This is what I'm really good at. And it's like well, am I ready to stand alone? Because before, when you've been pushing through, hustling, grinding, it's always been, well, society tells me I should do this for success. Well, this coach told me I should do this for success. Well, this is what the behemoths before me have done for success. Let me replicate their process and get my success. It's just getting hard. It's got to push through and get my result. But now you're starting to like develop your own. You're starting to develop your, okay, I learned from this investor, this investor, this investor, this investor, this day trader, this coach about how to get the monetary success that I want. And now you're picking and choosing, but this is my unique way of how I'm going to do it. They went this way, I'm going this way. So it's like exploring an unknown territory, right? So I need you guys to see that there's sadness and there's grief at the losing the old self of you, but some of the sadness and grief is also masking a little bit of hidden fear of like, am I ready to stand on my own 2 feet? Literally my own 2 feet, because if I fail, it's all on me now. It's no longer, the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, it was if I fail, it's because I didn't push past the fear and create content and tell people about my event and get them there. Everyone needs to push through that beginner level fear. Now it's you're standing on your own 2 feet. You're making your own plan. You're making your own plan, right? I used to make content day in, day out. And then I switched to, I realized I don't like making a lot of content. I don't like making daily content. You know what? YouTube's my platform. YouTube is the longer, more in-depth, personal, teach someone something, impact their lives platform, and that's me. So the fear came up of, but will I still get clients if I'm not making the daily Facebook, the daily Instagram? And I even tried to do TikTok for a while. And then it was hey, my clients come to me in different ways. I studied from all these different coaches, marketing people, the ways that they get clients. And I personally like I prefer the referral from clients, the referral from someone who already has a big audience, but maybe they teach marketing. But they also know it's mindset, but mindset isn't their 100% expertise. So if they already have like an audience, they would want to hire an expert in the mindset to come in. So in there's also like an ego crash. Because once I had that moment, it was but am I good enough? Am I actually working hard enough? Will I be able to prove and justify why I have this financial success that I have if I'm not the one building the organic content, if I'm not the one making all the dials, if you guys are salesmen? If I'm not the one overlooking every step of my business, am I worthy of having more money than like my employees, right? So it's like a little bit, there's these, I hope you guys see like how complex this issue is when you're growing to that next level and when there's like sadness and grief, okay? So this is where like, slow down, wind down, because that's a lot going on emotionally and we haven't even covered everything, right? So just be okay that some of your life is going to slow down for a bit. Some of your life's going to slow down for a bit. You may not be able to think about your partner as much. You may not plan as many dates with your partner. You may not have as much energy to go to the park with your children. You may like wind down on content creation for yourself. You may not close as many sales, right? And know that that's temporary because you've got so much going on. You know, you're doing the internal chaos first, okay? So no beating yourself up because you are no longer hard on yourself. If you are watching my content, it means that you are no longer hard on yourself. You're letting that way of being just die. Okay, so let's get back to the grief. Literally, an old you is dying. Guys, I went back and listened to a content. It's my signature course that I created. And it literally, after I created it, I was in this blown out mindset. And I was like, oh my God, I just gave birth to a baby out of my mind through my heart and out into the world. And I was just like, I like flabbergasted. I was just like, oh my God, I just birthed a baby out of my brain into this world. Like I'm exhausted, I'm tired. And it's what I teach everyone. I don't have it on my website for purchase. Sorry guys. I'll get it up there eventually someday. But it's what I walk all my clients through. Everyone needs it like delivered slightly different, right? Okay? So when I went back, because I just got a new client, I went, oh, he needs the next meditation. When I saw my course content, I went, oh, there's 4 meditations in the first module? I had to like go back and remind myself. And when I was watching my PDF, I was like, wow, I put together a really good, thorough, extensive, comprehensive program that is like attacking the problem from all angles. That if you have a hard time saying no to others, you feel extreme guilt. Oh God, this course is for you. And I attacked it from all the angles, all the different psychology angles, all the spiritual, and combined it. And I was just like, wow, I was blown away. I was like, wow, I did that? You know, like this is cool. But when I went back and listened to some of the meditations, I was like, oh, this is the meditation he needs. I sent it to him and then I listened to it and I was like, wow, those are the words I used to use. And that was only like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. I didn't realize how much I had changed. So there's grief that like, hey, that old me is gone and hey, there's this new me and I don't fully know this new me yet. And this is especially true for people who you've been in the drama trauma for a while, you've been in the blaming your parents, you've been in the needing your parents to see things the way you see. When you kind of let go of that, there's just like a grief of who you used to be and the new you. And even though it is a little bit more the word confident, confidence is just I know what I'm good at, I know what I'm not good at, and I only want to do what I'm good at. This is what I desire, this is my need, this is how I'm going to get my need met. That's all confidence is, guys. So there's no need to be bravado, bounty, oh, I've got this, I'm confident, I'm good at this. It's just like it's more of a sinking in of like, oh yeah, this is what I'm good at. Yep, I can deliver that result. Yep, I can get you that, no big deal. And oh, that's not quite something I do. I can't do that, but I can do these things. If you need those, let me know. It's a deep knowing of what you can do and what you can't. Okay. So it's more of a, once you kind of process some of the sadness and the grief, and for the sadness, just go through and recognize like, I am going to miss some of that old phase of my life, right? I am going to miss having a carefree life with no responsibility. This is a huge turning point. I now have a program that I run every morning, 8 a.m. I can't just go, right? I never used to do that before. I would do, nope, I'm talking to you once a week and that's it. And now I have a program that I run, right? So there's grief for like that old me I get to be. And there's, okay, you guys got that. You're probably going to have to go through and process a little bit more sadness on your own. Just what am I sad that I can no longer do from that phase? What do I wish I appreciated more in the moment of that phase? And then go, okay, But here's my new phase. Here's things I get to enjoy. I enjoy way more money. I go out to eat at way more restaurants. I have so much more savings. I'm starting to get a portfolio growing. So even though I can't go chill in a river all day like I used to, like it's kind of fun learning about money and learning about stocks. And I'm of course reading about the digicoins and NFTs and all that stuff too and staking. And it's like, ooh, which one do I want to invest in? So my sense of fun is coming from a different place. Now it's like a sense of adventure. Now it's like a sense of I'm learning something new. Now it's like, okay, well, what is a stock? What is an EFT? What is an NFT? What is this blockchain? What is it? What is this? Like, what is all of it? And do I want to invest in one or the other, or do I want to like put money into both at the same time? And what is this utility thing with NFTs? You know, I'm getting a sense of fun and adventure from learning new and watching that like my money make money. Whereas the old was I just made like $50,000. I think that I will just go chill for a while. For all of you who you think that's not a lot of money, I was single. I had like the apartment was really small. I didn't live in a big city. So that money could last a while. Plus I was pretty much chilling with the Mennonites and the Amish for a while. So everything there is like super cheap, right? I was getting sandwiches for like $3, $4. I would go grocery shopping at their place. That money lasted, man. I loved being out in the forest, okay? But so it came from like river crawling in the river. It came from meeting Mennonites. It came from like learning how to farm. And it came from, yeah, I'm just gonna come hang out time with you. And like my farm friends would be like, you don't have to worry about money. I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. You know, and then they hit a point where I'm like, oh, I almost spent my stockpile. Better get back to work. And when I got back to work after that particular transition in my life, it was, wait, I actually really like this. I want to start building wealth. Now it's not just about earning money, enjoying life. Now it's about, I want to learn the wealth creation game. So I need you guys to acknowledge what are the new things you're going to be learning. And if you already have the money game figured out, you're going to realize what your lesson is. If you're single, it's going to be, I want to figure the love game out. I want to figure out how to do love in a way where it doesn't feel like a game to me. I want to figure out, and if you're married, I want to figure out how to do love where I don't feel like I have to game my wife. For all of you like wealthy men who did the PUA thing, okay? It's like a self-discovery for how to have more peaceful, calm interactions with your loved ones. So if you've already done the money thing, just know that your next growth is very likely deeper connections, how to figure out the opposite sex, how to get over the fear of, but does she just want me for my money? For women, it's, does he just want me for my looks? I'm going to make a full video on that, little sneak peek. If that's your worry, it's not, that's really more of a self-trust issue, and it's really more of admitting to yourself that you don't know properly how to build strong emotional connections with people. I'll build a whole video on that though later, explaining that more to you guys. So going back to the sadness and the grief. So you are grieving a lost you, and like that lost you is lost, it's gone. You can't go back to that, right? For those of you who are working a job, you can't go back to that old job. So of course you're in grief. You're like, great, I can't go back to that. That's who I was for so long, but it no longer lights me up. And then it's also like, oh, but I'm just not quite ready yet to take that next step. But like you've got to, right? And it's knowing that not every dream thing that you want is going to have that complete and utter happy, happy, joy, joy, shooting rainbow chest out of your feeling. When you're going from like yuck life, just yuck, to good, oftentimes those inspired actions, those those gut hunches, it will feel like oh my God, this is so good, I have to do it. That's because your life was yuck. So literally the grass is always effing greener because it's fucking yuck. You're standing in swamp. The grass is greener. You're like, fuck yeah, let's get to the grass. I won't be slowly sinking, worrying about that I might like, sink sand die. When you're at good to great, it was good, right? And good to, we all know that like relationships wind down, degrade, not necessarily degrade, but relationships that used to be strong to you no longer become strong to you as you grow into the new. And that's sometimes why some people don't grow into the new, especially earning more money, because they don't want to lose those friendships and relationships. But when it's from yuck to good, it's easy to leave the narcissist. Well, once you get to your point where you're done feeling the pain, then it's like, okay, this is really bad. He almost hit me last night. I need to leave or I might die. That, believe it or not, how scary and bad as that felt for you, when you get to leaving a good friend, someone who's good, someone who's emotionally healthy, someone who's been there for you for a while, when you have to choose to leave that friendship behind, that is 10,000 times harder than leaving the narcissist behind. So I need you to not be hard on yourself, and I need you to not demand and expect perfection out of your dream. And you need to stop demanding perfection out of you. If I was good enough, if I got the energy right, the vibes right, if I did my mindset work, this would be happy, happy, joy, joy, and I'd be skipping along. No, guys, right? Like your children, when they leave your house to go to college or to start their own business or to world travel, of course you're happy for them, but there might be a part of you that's like, dang, they were my friend for a very long time. Wow, empty nest. I got to build my social network up. So it's literally, it's the complexity of life, which I have a chapter on that in my course too, which isn't up on my website. So don't go look for it right now. Complexity of life. It's like that's maturing in life in terms of emotional coaching and personal development, which is my zone, right? It's when you can allow yourself to, I hate this and I love it. And then you can wind down, you can either wind down the emotions and leave the situation, or you can go, yeah, I hate this part of it, I love this part of it, but since I will never like this and there's nothing I could do about it, I'm not going to focus on that, and I'll just admit I'm never going to be satisfied with that and like it, but I come here for this. And that's when you can focus on what you actually like without denying or suppressing your emotions, okay? Because that's a whole nother issue. But that's why, even though your dream is like right there and it's probably even starting to unfold before your eyes, it's a complex thing if you're at this level. So I hope this video helped you. If you got more questions, give me a comment down below, and I will, if I have the time, I will make a follow-up video. Love you guys. Bye.